Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time
So much fun. Oh, we got the remix.
Rubber ducky, wiggy wiggy wiggy.
Test. Any echo?
So let's talk about
Hello?
another thing here.
Okay.
Very serious matter here.
Oh, we should introduce the show.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. This is that pre-introduction banter right here. This is the beard.
Oh, I didn't freaking notice. Oh my gosh.
So every year or so, I have an incident. It seems like.
Yeah, I
And
remember last time.
So January 1st, I was a little under the weather, and I was trying to cheer myself up by, clean up, shave the head, trim the beard. And I was working, what I normally work is a bladeless trimmer, and it just touches the bottom of this piece right here.
Okay.
And again, when you're on muscle relaxing, you should not do things. So I didn't realize that I was actually scraping the back of my chin here. And I had this big horseshoe patch. It was so huge that I couldn't fix it.
But doesn't it have guards?
I just said that I was using a guardless trimmer.
Why?
Because I'm used to it. And like I said, if I wasn't
Good
on
going.
the Flexerol, so I had to cut it. Yeah, and that's why I didn't wear my Fear the Beard T-shirt that I was going to wear today, because
It should have said.
I don't have a beard.
Yeah, it's like fear the goatee.
Fear the schmush.
Oh man.
Anyway, hey,
Hey,
welcome to the Moe and O show. My name is Moe Morales, here with,
Omar Gonzalez.
and we're friends. We've been friends for a very long time when we talk about camera stuff, tech, photo tips, comic books and movies, and anything else we really feel like sharing with you guys. And we also appreciate the feedback you guys give us. So welcome to our little humble home.
Yay! Well, Happy New Year, 2019.
2019, so it begins.
Last time we talked about New Year's resolutions. Is there anything that, like we talked about how not to really have that many resolutions because they don't work out, but you can't deny that there's like a refresh that goes on, and you, like, for example, I've been eating more vegetables lately.
I've actually stopped eating extra bread.
Yeah.
Not stopped eating bread.
I'm talking that second loaf.
Yeah, I used to be. I don't know if we discussed this before, but I'm a 2 breakfast guy.
Yeah.
So I've stopped
so
eating.
you're a hobbit.
Yeah, I'm a twosies.
Yeah, Tuesday is like, you want second breakfast and and lunches. Yeah.
So no, so I've stopped eating extra bread. That I try to go all morning without bread, which is harder for me than I thought.
What is there to eat besides freaking carbs, man? Like I tried the same thing. I had eggs by themselves with a little bit of fruit, and I'm just like, where's the bread?
Yeah. So even like I'll have oatmeal or I'll have grits, and I'm like, that's a lot of carbs in that.
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose. So yeah. So it's been like actually. Since we're only a few days into the year, I've actually started doing where I don't eat till like around noon.
All right.
I'll have a cup of coffee, and then I won't eat anything else till
just
noon.
like Europe does.
Yeah.
It's like
There's something I read about, like this modified fasting, it's called, or something like that, where you don't eat anything from the night before till the next day. But I modify it because I have coffee.
I modify because I like bread.
I like coffee.
But those things don't last, though.
They don't.
So I think you want to listen to my diet. Because I got a little bit of a roll going. I know I'm a skinny guy, but it's awkward when you're skinny and then you have like this muffin top, And I wear tight-fitting clothes often.
Snuggies.
Yeah. So I wear, like, my shirt. Everything is kind of slim because that looks better on me than baggy stuff. But you can't pull off the slim look if there's like a little baby, there's like a little baby bulge.
What's that? Oh my God, a puffy.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Oh, that's sexy.
You see that right
yeah,
there?
Bring it in, baby.
So this little roll, although I'm still a skin, like people would die for this body, I'm sure, in America.
Yeah, me.
No, please. We all have our levels.
My belly's on my lap right now. Okay, so shut up.
Roll it up. Rolling.
So yes, we would be envious of your body, but you're doing a work on it. So what's the diet?
Yeah, and also, the diet, I call it halvesies. And
I have two easy of
yeah. Well, first of all, carbs is one, but two, like we eat double what we need. If think about it, like I saw this special where the dollar menu at Wendy's. Mm-hmm. Those are the portions. Like the mini burger and the mini fry is like what someone would be eating if they overate.
Right.
And we get like the
double Whopper with cheese.
Yeah,
with
and look
bacon.
at the plates. The plates we get is like we get a 1 foot steak.
As a person who's been
instead of half.
overseas, you
Yeah.
understand perfectly how drastic the American portion is.
So one, it's portion,
Right.
but two, it's psychology, because we go beyond before our stretch receptors in our stomach take over and are like, I'm full. Like you already
Yeah,
went
it takes
beyond.
about 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your
Totally.
brain, I'm full.
So halvesies is tough because you know when you take your rice and it's a pile, you take half the pile, right? And then, of course, try to take more vegetable. Although Puerto Rico has no vegetables,
Aguacate.
we have like yuca, which is like starchy. Everything's heavy.
Yeah, yame.
Yame, yautilla.
Everything is like starch full.
Yeah, starch full. So halvesies has been working. It's just if you sit at the table too long, like you want to reach for seconds, it's hard. It's hard. So let's talk cameras a little bit. Sony Ace, although on Instagram it's called the Sonia 3.
Sonia Red 3.
Hashtag Sonia 3. I tagged that one, Sony a7 III, and I was like, why does that say Sonia 7?
That's so funny. So, but Omar, yeah, there's a lot of Sonys on the table today. One of them is not mine.
Yeah, we got 3 Sonys and 2 Fujis. So Fuji's being a little bit, overpowered here. But yeah, I dropped my Sony. Can I tell you how stressed I was about making that video? It's so weird.
No, I could have imagined. I watched it and I felt the stress
Yeah.
because
Did you feel me like trying to explain?
like you were apologizing for being you.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, that's the problem with fanboyism, that this is all these cameras here are awesome.
Yeah.
There's not one camera on here that would not get most of our jobs done if
You could
we
even
had
say
an emergency.
these. We got your
Right.
phones here, even whatever.
And
Whatever you
any
have.
camera on this table
Yeah.
would have gotten our jobs done. But once we publicly say, I like Fuji, I like Nikon, and then you say, I like Canon tomorrow, I'm like, oh, what's that all about? Yeah, but people should stop, because yes, I felt that the video you put out on your channel was an apology video
I know.
instead of an introduction video.
So agreed. And so that was kind of the negative, was I had all this angst about having to explain myself, because I did typecast myself. I definitely was a Fuji channel, even though I used Canon, I definitely was helping people with Fuji, but I did feel pressure on making an episode to explain. And the beautiful thing was, if you read the comments, like everyone feels the same way. Like everyone was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we still have that in us, like, brand loyalty and this and that and betrayal. So I did get some comments that were like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, that or traitor. I saw one that said traitor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't like you.
But the great thing is the comments were overall positive, and even the ones that were like, where's my pitchfork, which was a funny one, that's all in like good fun.
Right.
So I think everyone gets it that I am a professional photographer. And
Focaccia.
yeah, a focaccia bread, yo.
I love bread.
I would love to be a professional focaccia bread. But because I'm a professional focaccia, that it is a tool. Like people gave you a pass, as opposed to, there are stupid videos on YouTube where like, am I switching to Sony? And all they do is they hold the camera that they borrowed and they just like this intrigue and they try to start a fight. That's not what I was doing.
No, you did that in your other video.
Yes.
the clickbait one.
Oh my God, that was a great.
That was funny.
That I did on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, welcome to another brand. I'm not going to say welcome to Sony because
You're new too, man.
I'm just getting here myself and I have so much to learn. I have so much to learn because that menu.
Yeah, well, you're at a disadvantage.
Why?
Brother?
Because, okay.
You know why? Canon Sony.
Oh, Nikon.
This is a Nikon Sony.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Look at the lens that's on my Sony right now. It's a Canon 85 1.2, and it works. And
I have an 85 1.8.
You had to buy that lens.
Yes.
And I think the system makes more sense for people to switch over if they have Canon glass.
Right, because previously, when on the A6300, I did have a Photodiox Smart Fusion adapter for Nikon, and
Does it work?
It worked.
Oh, it worked, but it's not like hey,
I wouldn't
this is
use
good.
it to
Yeah,
work
yeah.
with it though.
Okay,
If
got
I was gonna go slow somewhere, just take photos for myself, and I want to use all my Nikon gear, I would have kept it, and it would
Totally.
have worked
Manually
for that.
focused.
For
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, autofocus worked too,
Okay.
just when it wanted to. Like it always autofocused. It just was like, here I am. So yeah, so I ended up selling the adapter and all my lenses. So I had to start fresh because the Nikon conversion in Sony is garbage.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I made the switch was that I can just start learning the system without. And it's funny, the idea was to start learning the system just using it casually, but I jumped right in and did one practice shoot for free.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know where'd you post that. I think I saw the young lady you posted. Was that in the
Yes.
video? Was that
Yeah, in
okay.
the video, the one with the red dress.
Yeah, I was
that
like,
was
wow.
that was a practice shoot.
And it was pretty awesome.
The camera followed her. Her head was like a millimeter on the sensor, and she was far away, and it tracked her head. And once it saw her eye, she was like 3 millimeters on the sensor. It picked up her eye and tracked her the whole way. I think it missed maybe 2 shots because she was moving too fast. And the camera, oh, you mother sonner, you mother sonner. Yeah, and then I did the pro shoot, and at first I was nervous, but the setting the eye autofocus button when you're doing portraits is like, man,
So
it's
what you set it to?
liberating.
What did you set it to?
The AEL button. So my regular
Yeah.
back button focus and this one, is that what you've done?
Me too.
Yeah.
So I have it on there, and also on certain Sony lenses, you could actually put it on the focus hold.
Oh, okay.
So I also have it here. So because sometimes it's easier than doing this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is your
just-
thumb normally in that spot? Is that pushed with the thumb? You know, like you're holding the lens.
Yes.
Cool,
Yes,
cool, cool.
That's why it's easier with the focus hold, but definitely have it set to the AEL.
Oh, let me tell you this.
Talk to me.
All right. So I had a rookie mistake during a shoot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I shot JPEG.
Oh my.
The good news is I shot full JPEG. And the good news, and here's a lesson for you, man, is get things right in camera because you will be in trouble if you're like, I'm going to change my white balance later. I'm going to shoot all auto white balance. So I was using a flash and I set my K temperature. And so my exposures, I checked them. All the exposures are great and all the white balance is great. Like the temperatures are all good. In camera, the JPEGs are finished.
Okay. Which camera though? This right here?
Yeah. So
Is this the only one you took yesterday?
No. I took the Canon, but I used this for the morning
Gotcha.
because we were shooting portraits of the girl. And later when I came back, I'm like, where are the raws? What a stupid rookie mistake, man.
No, I mean it was. I mean because you should, knowing you're going on your first shoot with this, you could have double checked the little things like that.
Dumb.
But
No, you know what happened?
it's not super rookie mistake. It's new camera rookie mistake.
Yeah. And you know, there's people who shoot just JPEG. Like
Right.
they'll shoot portraits just JPEG, which is fine, which I don't want to do. But I was going to tell you the reason it happened is because I set it to JPEG only to test the buffer on a card. Because like to see when it would fill up just with JPEG. And I never set it back. But the good news is it's like a large JPEG. If I would have shot like,
This is a small 4 megabyte
oh my
one.
God. Thumbnails.
Yes, here
you go.
These are for the outside, not for the inside.
Yeah, these are great stamps. You can print stamps.
So with the family portrait shoot that you did with Sony, how did you feel, besides when you realized later about the JPEG part, how did you feel shooting with it?
I found that I need a pinky hold for one. It's too small. Okay. The grip is great. You get knuckle scratch because the grip is too close to these big lenses, especially if you're adapting. So knuckle scratch is a little annoying. And my pinky has no home. So Sony does sell a little pinky holder. It's totally comfortable. The camera's comfortable. It's got good grip and everything. But it needs another inch. And Sony sells like a little pinky, a little home for your pinky.
Right.
But instead of building it straight across, they made a pinky holder and then it goes back.
To normal.
So your camera, if you lay it down, is going to be
Crooked.
I can't take that.
Yeah, your OCD will kick
Yeah,
in. Like,
OCD
"No,
is like,
I don't want any of it.
I'll put some Sugru on the other side and like Jimmy rig that
How about
mofo.
just, a grip would be too big?
I think a grip is too big.
Yeah.
Have you seen their grip?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought about the grip too, but it defeats the purpose of going lighter.
Yeah, mirrorless. You're right. You're right. How did you feel? Your hands are larger and beefier.
You know what though? The way I grab my cameras in general, because I started with the 5000.
Yeah.
Nikon D5000, and it was like this. So I trained my pinky to come back up. So I just realized with my grip, it automatically
your pinky is on there.
it automatically curls up higher than it would normally.
Yeah, you do hold your camera like that. I just noticed your claw, and I'm more like this. So my hand's always like up and down,
Right.
And so my pinky's like wee.
It just reminded me of that Geico commercial, the little piggy. Wee.
And then my Fujis I hold like this, just kind of like with a little. I just saw a Friends episode yesterday where Phoebe is teaching Joey how to play guitar, and she's like, the way she names the chords is like by her hand. She's like, this one's called "Oh Lady," "Oh Lady." All right,
because like even with this small camera, my pinky comes up.
Oh yeah,
It's just weird how I hold my camera.
yeah. You are definitely like,
I trained myself with a small camera, so I just kept it going forward.
yeah.
It works for me. Speaking of working for me, I was talking at work the other day. Some guy just got a camera, and he asked me, what kind of flash should I get? What kind of, reflector, not reflector, what kind of flash should I get? What kind of modifier should I get? I said, first of all, you don't even know how to use that camera. I said, the first thing you should do is learn how to use the camera with 0 modifiers. I said, the most you should do is buy a small reflector, not even the 5-foot one. I said, the small reflector. It's like, oh, but you can't do anything with that. I've just posted a picture on Instagram that's very old that I took of our friend George with just a camera and a very small reflector.
Yeah.
And I showed him, like, this is a picture that shows you if you know your camera and you know what you're looking at, it doesn't matter what kind of, as long as you know how to use the light and this and the other, a small modifier is all you need, less than $20, and start with that. I said to him, start with natural light and a $20 modifier.
Yeah.
And get on YouTube and start learning aperture, learning shutter speed, learning what's going to work best for you. And, just get out there and shoot. I said, don't ask me about flashes when you don't even know which mode is what on your camera.
Yeah.
And I know you people out there watching know better, but a camera is not going to make you an awesome photographer. You have to make yourself an awesome photographer first.
For sure.
And you only do that through understanding photography.
Shooting.
Right. I mean, because even if you don't want to learn shutter speed and aperture, you could still get out there and practice and figure out what works for you.
What I was going to say was that your friend can actually, with that reflector, instead of learning what the camera does, is learn what light does.
Ooh.
Because if you're shooting outside and you put someone next to a red brick building, the light that comes off that is like, oof. But if you go and there's like a concrete wall that's white or gray, the light that comes off that is a lot nicer. So actually the nuances of light will make you a better photographer than a camera.
That is so true. I think when I went to be on Creative Live.
Oh, yeah, Don.
The first thing, I didn't think I was a great photographer when I went there. I thought I was an okay photographer. I learned I knew nothing when he explained light. And I'm like, he is so right. Where light falls, it's going to make your photo. How it falls is going to make your photo. You need to know where it's coming from, where it's falling, what it is doing, and how can you use it to your advantage.
Yeah. And I think that, I was going to say that's probably not the glamorous part of photography. I think people are bored with the science and the learning. They just want to start playing.
Speculars.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the first time I learned the word speculars. And that, remember his discussion on, this is where I was blown away, when he had to light a black jacket. Mm-hmm. It was like a leather jacket. And he's like, this girl's wearing a black leather jacket. And he was bringing in like white reflectors and explaining that you can't light that frickin' jacket. No. What you need to do is have stuff show up in it.
Exactly. You have to bounce into it so you can capture that.
Yeah. So the thing that's lighting up her jacket, like it was mind blowing because he's like, the light is being absorbed by that. It's not light. You're like lighting up
it right in.
Yeah. Yes. You need to light this board. I thought that was cool.
He taught me so much in 3 days. Like even when we were off camera, we would talk. Not just him and I, because we're not that cool. But but no, we would sit in the group, and he was always feeding questions and just throwing stuff back at us and saying, like, he would hear us talking. He goes, that won't work because of this, or that would work, but why don't you do that? And I thought, like a photographer of his ilk, an old school photographer who's coming over who's been in the digital world for a while, but he's been in the game since the 60s or something. And for him to not be threatened by new photographers, instead feeding them the knowledge.
We'll link him up below. Don Giannati, Creative Live Class.
And he has his own thing. You can find him on Instagram under WizWow.
He's great. Yeah,
he's a really nice guy. I'm sure he's a grumpy old man when he wants to be, but he hides it, and he's a nice human being.
And
to
remember,
everyone else.
he would reply to you and like on social media. Super nice guy.
So yeah, and that's the thing. Back to our point, you get out there and practice, and YouTube was our hero.
Yeah,
we learned so much that we again, Omar and I would just go out there and practice shooting. I never went to a class to learn about aperture, shutter speed, until Zach Arias's know your
we'll link that one below too.
What is that one?
It's the one light.
No, know your reciprocals.
Oh, that was mind blowing too. Reciprocals.
Yeah.
I should do a YouTube video on that.
Yes, make sure you shout out and give him props.
All right, I got one for you. A mind blowing aha moment when I was learning photography. That every 3 clicks on my camera was one whole stop. Like once I learned that cameras work in stops, like double the light, because you have little clickers. It's like,
why are these clicking?
It's a lot of clicking. Once I learned there's third stops and that I could do 3 clicks on my ISO and 3 clicks on this and get the same thing, like that reciprocal, like as far as the dial goes, that blew my mind. And once I did that, I knew I could change ISO up and make this one go down, and it was the same exposure.
It's amazing. You
know what? This isn't a total aside, but what are your thoughts on like having, this might be bad for views though, but showing everything in 10 seconds and then being like, hey, those of you that want to go in depth a little bit more, let's start here.
A lot of technology YouTubers are doing that.
Really?
Because they have a 15-minute video, and a lot of them are saying, I love the phone, buy it. Now you know. But now let's talk about why.
That's a good point.
He goes, for people who don't want to wait, he'll say, I like the phone, so buy it.
For
the rest of you.
I forgot his name. He does microphone reviews and audio. I'll put him here, but Judd, I think is Chris Judd, maybe? Or is that like a country music star?
He's like, I don't make microphones like they used to.
But he does that, and I saw him do that for like 2 minutes. He did a microphone review, really fast bullets, and he's like, the rest of you can like move on now. Goodbye. Because he knows his analytics that the retention is terrible. And then I was interested, so I stuck around, and it was like if you were talking to someone, a teacher, and they were going through things really detailed.
Yeah. Who did that? So again, one of the technology YouTubers. I said I've been watching him, and he always does that. For those who are in a rush,
that's a great way to say it.
Get it? I love it. Now, and then he just goes on and says to you, it does this, it does that. When you're using it over here, it can do this.
I'm thinking, yes, that's the way to go.
I think that's the honest review, right? If you're going to give an honest review, don't fluff it.
Don't fluff it and just stretch it. Well, what about these
Except
videos?
for one person.
What?
Unless it's a Flossie Cotter honest review,
real
review. Yeah, those are hour long usually.
You got to be in that mode.
He will tell you the good, the bad, all the way. He starts with all the bad.
Yeah.
Then he tells you all the good, and then at the end of the video, he'll tell you, would he rock it, would he buy it? But I love his because he gives you real advice. So he's the only person that I don't want the answer up front.
Yeah.
Everyone else, please cut to the chase.
Totally. All right, let's end this one.
Spidey, he's so cool.
Let's end this one because I gotta edit it.
Hey, no, you don't. Fluffy.
Oh, Moe is editing this episode.
No, he's not. Why am I so short?
I told you, man. Bert and Ernie, look.
Hey, Bert.
Ernie.
Hey, Bert.
Ernie.
Oh, my God. This should be our intro.
Hey, guys. Welcome to the Moe and O show.
I'm Mo Morales. Hey, Bert.
I'm Bert.
No, you're supposed to go.
I couldn't.
Exactly.